Hello, 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 hello. What's going on, my people? Beautiful people, Right State of Mind family. What's up? It's your boy Charlie back with another episode of the Right State of Mind podcast. Hope y'all doing all right today, man. I am a little pressed for time, so I'm going to kind of try definitely not to waste your time today. But I thought about doing something this week that I haven't done in a little while. Last couple of episodes I have had different guests come on for the most part. Then I had an episode in there of a solo episode. Today is going to be a solo episode as well, which I feel like I need to do more, to be honest with you, because I like having a guest on, but I think I need to do a balance of guests on because a lot of times they're sharing their experience, their story, whatever, but also I'm assuming, hearing from me is needed as well and not just me listening. So trying to do a balance of that. But today I'm going to do one of my patented right state of mind message episodes. I was thinking about what I wanted to do for this episode. Thought about, I have some people I've been talking to about coming on. Thought about doing a certain topic like I usually do. But then I thought about this one because, again, balancing. I try to switch it up. I don't want to do one particular thing or two particular things. I like to switch it up sometimes. And sometimes I feel like this is needed. So that's what I'm doing today. Right state of mind message, a little bite-sized episode to hopefully resonate, motivate, help anybody that's listening. So let's get into it. But before we do, real quick, I almost forgot, but can't forget this. Support, love and support. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe, rate, review, 5-star rating, leave a little review. All that stuff is super, super, super appreciated. I need it. It helps me go, helps the show keeps going. Social media as well. Right State of Mind Pod is the handle on all platforms, all lowercase, Right State of Mind Pod. If you're new to the show, if you're listening for the first time, whatever, if you've been listening, you haven't, I'll give you a pass this time. But go ahead and follow, share the content as it comes out, all that stuff. All that stuff is super, super key. It's not just me sitting behind a microphone and talking. That stuff is a needed part of the show. So that being said, without any further ado, let's get into it. So real quick, been something that kind of I've been talking about, be honest, in my personal life, and that's the beauty of kind of what I do sometimes. I get to sit back and talk to all these different people about what they're going through in life. So it exposes me to a lot of common problems or struggles that are going on in the world. And I'm also human. So, I have ups, downs, things I think and all that. I'm a thinker too. So if you know me personally, it's not a surprise. I think a lot. Try not to overthink, but just usually like navigating life sort of thing. Goals, I'm big into achieving goals and things like that. So there's been something that I've seen a lot lately, and it kind of hit me, when I was watching something on TV. And then it also hit me as I continue to hear people's struggles. And what I want to talk about in this episode is not giving up before your magic moment. So I think I'll title it that. Don't give up before your magic moment. I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but I want to get into it a little bit more just because I feel like there's a common mistake that a lot of us make. I've done it, so I'm not trying to sound like I'm perfect and I don't do this. I've done it. I caught myself recently, which is what kind of sparked this episode. But I've seen it a lot too. I think sometimes we have this like preconceived notion that it's either life is supposed to be easy or we're not supposed to go through any sort of struggle or any type of adversity. And I know that sounds kind of crazy when you hear it. Like, obviously, you're going to go through struggles. But you ever notice the reaction of a lot of people when that moment happens? Like, if there's a setback, or if something doesn't work, or if something's not going the way that you planned it to go. A lot of people, we always have this like instant reaction as if we're not supposed to go through that, or that's not supposed to happen to me. And it's just, when you really break it down and think about it, it's like, well, duh, what makes me exempt from any type of adversity, struggle, setback? Like, who am I? Obviously, I can go through any sort of struggle. I'm not immune to any type of setback, But we have this type of reaction that we're not supposed to go through it. So what I'm going to talk about today is like understanding that if you're going after something right now, it could be a relationship, it could be a career goal, it can be a life goal, whatever it is. I really want to talk about and just bring awareness to the common mistake of misinterpreting setbacks or struggles for anything other than a part of the story. Because that's what made me think. So what made me think about this is like, obviously sitting here doing a podcast, obviously I tell my clients this all the time too, is, when you sit in a therapy session, it's kind of easier to look at problems a certain way because a lot of times you're kind of emotionally, like you're not in the middle of it. So if I'm sitting in a therapy session or talking to somebody virtually, we're talking about something that is most times not happening right in the now. Like it's something that either happened before, something that may be coming up, but it's not happening right now. I think the difficulty of everything I'm saying right now is when you're in the middle of it, emotionally, it's hard to look at it from a logical standpoint. It's hard to look at it from a standpoint of like trying to be positive about it, trying to look at the bigger picture. When you're in it emotionally, it's so heavy a lot of times. It's like that's what you feel right now. That's all you're thinking about. And a lot of times we want to react to that immediate moment. Oh, it's not working out. Screw it. I'm done with this. Or you tend to give up. You tend to be negative, all this type of stuff. And I have I'll use myself as an example. I have current life goals. I don't want to, I'm superstitious, by the way. So before I ever achieve anything, if I'm working on stuff, I don't like to talk about it until it happens. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about something because for me, I feel like a couple of things. First, I feel like I'm jinxing it. Second, I feel like a lot of like, what good is the talk if the action doesn't follow? So I can get on here and say, I want to do this, this, and this. But if I don't achieve it, for me personally, I need to achieve it. So anyway, I don't want to get into the details, but I have goals that I'm working on right now. Been working on. And I'm a very like goal oriented type of person. It's a gift and a curse. Sometimes it's good when you accomplish things because you concentrate and you're determined, all that stuff. That's why usually when I set my mind to something, I usually achieve it. But the downside is everything outside of that is kind of neglected in a way. Relationships, attentiveness, all that stuff. I just, I kind of hyper focus on it. So another downside is when it doesn't go as well as you hope it to go, it takes an emotional toll on you. And with emotional tolls, it's easier, or you tend to think in a way that you normally wouldn't think. And you also tend to make decisions that you normally would not make. That happened to me. And it gets you to a point where you almost feel like you're at a crossroad. Do I keep going for this? Or does this mean I just need to stop? Or I just need to quit? Try something else. Focus on something else. Not saying that could never be true, but a lot of times that's fueled by disappointment, emotionally. That's what it's fueled by emotions, basically. And you get to the point where you almost give up. And I almost did that, But then you sit back and you think about it and you ask yourself, or I ask myself, what if, it's a big what if question. What if this is just a part of the story? What if it's just a part of my story? What if it's just a part of the story? Like if the end goal still happens, but what if this is just a part of it? I'll give you a perfect example here. Have you ever watched a TV show or a movie and there's a part in there that feels kind of unnecessary? Where you're like, why did that have to happen? Why? Like, that didn't need to happen. And I've done that a couple of times. I like to watch TV. I don't watch as many movies as I used to, but I like to watch TV shows. And a lot of them are cop shows. I'm big into like crime type documentaries or shows. In this example, I'm going to use a show because it's kind of, it's a lot of times it's not real. It's just a show. So anyway, I can remember examples to where, whether it's not a crime show or a sitcom or drama show, a lot of times it's drama shows. Those are the main ones. Where I'm sitting there with somebody and I'm thinking to myself, a lot of times with my partner, I'll laugh about something. It's like, what does that need to happen? And then she or whoever I'm watching it with will say, something along the lines of like, oh, it's a show. Like, they got to make it. They got to have some drama in there. They got to have some stuff in there to kind of make the story be entertaining. You ever notice that? Like, there's parts in movies and shows where it's like they got to add the drama to keep people entertained or keep you coming back. Well, the funny part about that is, think about when you see like a documentary or read an autobiography or listen to a speaker and they talk about their life. Isn't it very similar? Isn't it very similar to where maybe they're successful now and they're doing a documentary on their life of how they got there? I don't know about you, but I don't know of many success stories that don't have those same type of moments in there. Moments to where, to us, it may feel like it's unnecessary. Why did that have to happen? Why do I have to go through that hard time? I remember that chapter of my life where it felt like nothing was working out. It felt like, nothing went my way or anything like that. To us, it may feel like me on the couch sometimes where I'm like, why did that have to happen? That felt unnecessary. But a lot of times in the end of those shows or movies, it ended up feeling necessary and it made sense when you got to the end of the show or movie. See, how they got there. Same thing in documentaries and people talk about their lives. It made sense to the storyline of how they got to where they are currently. That hardship, that failure, that setback, fill in the blank with whatever you want to fill it in with. It felt necessary or it made sense to the ending of the story or just the current state of the story. So my point is, when we go through a setback, a moment of adversity, failure, in our minds, it may feel like failure, which in the end we realize it may not be. But in those moments, it may feel very similar. Why does that have to happen? Feels unnecessary. And the point I want to make is, you got to ask yourself sometimes, what if this is just a part of my story? Sometimes I'll visualize me achieving the goal that I've been obsessed with. This feels like an obsession to me. The goal that I'm trying so hard to achieve, I visualize getting there one day. Hopefully sooner than later, but hey, I'm not, in charge of everything. But anyway, I visualize myself getting there. How great of a feeling will it be to sit back and think about the chapters of my life where it felt like it wasn't going to work, where it felt like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. This just isn't for me. Whatever you tell yourself, whatever you want to say to yourself. How good would it feel to be able to say, damn, I still made it though. I got through that. I got through that hard chapter and I still made it. So with all that being said, I want to end this the right way. And I want you to not be so quick to give up on whatever you're trying to achieve, and understand that it's most likely just a part of your story. It's just a part of the journey that you're on. It's just a part of, think of it as a movie. You can think of it as a book. In the case of a book, maybe it's just a hard chapter. In the case of a movie documentary, same sort of thing. Just a hard part of your story. So don't give up, man. Don't give up before the magic moment, because when that magic moment comes, you're going to feel so good. You're going to feel good about achieving it, but you're going to feel even better that you achieved it without giving up. You didn't give up and you still achieved it. Be an inspiration to people in your life. Be an inspiration to other people. Don't give up before your magic moment. Understand hardship, setbacks, adversity is a part of success. I don't know any success story that from beginning to end everything went right. They never had any moments of setback, adversity, failure, anything like that. You pointed out to me. I'm not saying it's not out there. I'm saying I've never heard of it. I've never heard of anybody who is successful in anything not have those type of moments. So when we have them, we got to understand it's part of the story. It's part of the journey. It doesn't mean we're failures. It doesn't mean it's not meant to be. It may just mean it's just part of the story. We got to keep going. So don't give up, man. Don't give up. My guys, my ladies listening, whoever's listening, don't give up before your magic moment. I hope that helps somebody out there, because I know, I needed some reminders when I was in those moments of thinking of giving up. So let's be in this together. Let's not give up, man. And let's keep pushing. So if you listen to this, man, I appreciate it so much. I appreciate you sticking around. I appreciate you, giving me any sort of attention and time. I feel grateful for it. When people reach out, it means a lot. So if you haven't already, man, like I said earlier, subscribe to the pod wherever you get your podcast. Also, Right State of Mind Pod on all socials. Share the content, man. Thank y'all so much. That's all I have for you today. Hope it helps. Hope you continue to have a beautiful week going into the weekend. I'll see you guys next week, man. So until next time, get your mind right.